Hello everyone, and welcome to my Pickems video for Stage 3 of the Major. If you caught my last episode, you would know that I wasn't feeling very confident going into Stage 2, and in fact I said on the record that I felt worse about Stage 2 than Stage 1. For good reason, obviously. Once we found out that Falcons was going to get knocked out in Stage 2, it's not great, is it? In fact, for me, I'm actually quite disappointed. I know a lot of people are hate watching and are very happy about it. I'm not going to get into all the details of why I'm not happy about it, but I'll just say the primary reason is I'm going to this major, and I would have loved to have seen Nico and Monazzi play live. I've never been able to have the opportunity to watch Nico play live. I've been to one other major, and it was the Atlanta one, so I didn't get to see him play. So it just kind of sucks that I'm not going to be able to see that. But I think we're just going to swiftly, very, very briefly, touch on Stage 2. I'm not going to go in depth and talk about the teams like I did in Stage 1, because frankly, I am depressed after Stage 2. It was not great. As you can see, we only got two teams correct, which was Furia and 3D Max. And I know what you're thinking. I put Furia as 3-0. Why the fuck are they in 3-1-3-2? And that's because somebody in the comment section of my last video told me that if Falcons and Furia both went 2-0, according to the simulators, they would play each other in the 2-0 game. So I had to change it. Changed it to FaZe. That was looking like a masterclass, and then it wasn't a masterclass because Legacy beat them, and it just ruined everything. So Legacy and Falcons doing a really great job of ruining everybody's pick'ems. I think that's fair to say from like 90% of the people who did pick'ems for Stage 2. So yeah, pretty much a travesty. Also, the hard part is that some of these teams, like Bait and OG didn't even make it. Virtus Pro did, but they went 3-0. So yeah, I was just wrong on pretty much every front of this stage. So if that's foreboding of anything, if you're trying to look at my pick'ems to determine how to do them, don't, because I suck at it. So we're gonna move on to Stage 3. Cool part about Stage 3, there's a lot of really, really good teams in this stage, so it's going to be super fun to watch. Although I'm a little scared because teams like Legacy have looked good, and Amiga doesn't look terrible. And frankly, yes, it's going to sound terrible, but I don't want those teams to make it to playoffs, frankly. I want the good teams to make it. I want the big brands to make it, because I'm going to the fucking major, and I want to watch the coolest teams compete for a championship. That's what I want. So, but let's swiftly move on to the threes, the obvious pick that everybody and their mother is going to put, which is Vitality 3-0. I don't even think I need to explain why I'm doing this, so I'm just going to move on. I think the next best thing to do, honestly, let me double check. Let me look here. I have not actually looked at the matchups, and I just want to see who Mouse is playing in their first game. Virtus Pro. I think Mouse should destroy Virtus Pro. Look, I think the easy 3-0s are probably something like this. I don't know that, because I don't think Vitality and Mouse can play each other. I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they can, but I would like to hope they can't. I'm just going to put Mouse in there. I think they're easily the second best team in the world now that Falcons has decided they don't want to be here anymore. So I think these two teams are clear cut above the rest and should be very good in this stage. If you're actually reading in between the lines there, that should mean that Vitality will lose and Mouse will lose, and they will both, one of which probably won't even make playoffs, which will be devastating for me. But what are you gonna do? I'm putting Lin Vision as the 0-3 pick here. I think that's pretty fair, honestly. A sleeper 0-3 pick here might be actually G2. Nobody knows what G2 is going to look like, but I feel like they could be a sleeper 0-3 pick in this stage. I'm not going to do that, however. I think it's really tough because I'm between Nemiga and Legacy, and the problem is I don't want to pick Legacy. I think I'm going to go with Nemiga. So I'm going to pick Lin Vision and Nemiga in my 0-3. And then as for my teams that are going to advance, Spirit is going to advance. I think after that, looking at the level of these teams, I would say the Mongols are probably going to advance. This is when things kind of get tough, because none of these teams have looked incredible. I know you might think Virtus Pro they went 3-0, but I don't. They won a fuck ton of 4v5s, and I don't trust them, frankly. But I don't really trust any of these teams, to be completely honest with you. Like, do I want to pick a 3D Max here? Like, I don't really know that I want to. I'll go with FaZe, because fuck it, why not? Navi have been so dreadful. I mean, I have to put Aurora in here. I just don't have a choice. I have to put him in here, even though I don't particularly care if they make it to playoffs, but I do have to put them in here. They've consistently been a playoff team all season. Navi. Do I put Navi or Liquid? Liquid looked really bad at Dallas, like really bad at Dallas. Did not like what I saw from them in Dallas, but they just signed Shuhei to a contract. Maybe that means practice has been going well. They've liked what they've seen, and they've decided, and the players are enjoying being on the team potentially, and they want to play for them. Frankly, just for the NA bias, I'll probably just throw Liquid in here, even though they're not even really that North American anymore. They're a legacy North American org. They do have two of the best North American players of all time on their team. I think we can get it. I think we can still hold on to them, as an NA team. I'll use that as cope. Thank you very much. And as for the final team, I want it to be Na'Vi. I don't really think. I think Na'Vi is scary as fuck. Honestly, Na'Vi could also be a potential 0-3. Like, this team has been really bad recently. And they have not shown any signs of improving. And it's basically they're almost just sending a prayer and hoping that they're going to make it to playoffs. I think if they make playoffs of this event, they'll be happy. So it's really tough here because there's really no clear-cut team that looks like I want to pick them. Because I'd want to pick Furia honestly, but because Furia have some good players, I think they're an exciting team to watch right now. But I think 3D Max has a decent shout. Pain, if they continue their form from stage 2, could make it. But just for brand value and for respect, frankly, and what I want to happen, I wouldn't mind seeing a Na'Vi resurgence making playoffs. At this point, I'm just going to pick what I want to happen, and I think if these teams made playoffs, I would be very happy with that, even though I'm not the biggest Aurora fan. I'm a fan of watching all these other teams, even Mouse. I know people don't like Mouse, but I don't mind watching Mouse. I actually like their players a lot, and I actually really like them as a team. They play really cool CS. I think Torzy's a flashy opper. I think basically if you just replace Torzy with you just replace the name tag with a Monazi or a Kenny or just any fucking name that has any amount of clout, I think people would love this team. I think it's just the fact that the names aren't the biggest names ever, and they don't really have a whole lot of personality besides Jim Fat, for example. And I think people just kind of don't give a shit about Mouse. They're just kind of seen as a boring team, but to me, I actually really like them. I have no issues with them, so I would love to see them as well play in the arena. Aurora is really the only one, but frankly, if you're getting you get to watch Xantaras. I mean, it's basically like watching Nico. No, I'm just kidding. But why not? I can't be too upset with that. So I'm hopeful that in this stage, we're not going to see teams like Legacy and fucking Lin Vision and Namiga somehow make playoffs. That would make me so sad. It really would. So I'm really hoping these best of ones go well. If I had to pick, if I had to replace Mouse with any other team in here for a 3-0, I would put the Mongols personally. They're playing, I believe, Lin Vision in their first game. No, I'm sorry. They're playing Furia in their first game. My bad. They're playing Furia. So I don't know, I think Mongols are better, but they could still lose that game. I don't really know anymore. The Pickems are fucked. I'm not gonna get anything right, but I'm just gonna do this. I'm just gonna fucking. I think this is just gonna be it, dude. Cause what the fuck else do I have to lose, right? I've done so poorly these first two stages. I don't think these are bad teams. If this is the playoffs, if the playoffs contain Vitality, Mouse, Spirit, Mongols, FaZe, Aurora, Liquid, and Na'Vi, I think that might be the best situation for me personally. That might be my favorite outcome for the playoffs. And considering that I'm going to the playoffs, I'm just going to pick what teams I want to see in the playoffs. Fuck the Pickems and what makes sense. This is what I want to see happen. I mean, except for the 0-3s, obviously. I just don't want these teams to make playoffs, but if they go 1-3, I don't really give a shit. I just want these 8 teams to make it to playoffs. I think that would be the dream for me. So that's what I'm going to go for. It's what I want. It's not what I think is potentially going to happen necessarily, even though I do think these are some really fucking good teams. Um, and I'm gonna change this fucking complexity flare to like phase or something. But or maybe spirit for Donk's sake. I don't know. I really like Donk, so maybe I'll do that. I don't fucking know. But anyways, guys, that's gonna be my pick'ems. I know, quick this time, but yeah, really not a whole lot to talk about considering I think these teams are pretty mega. I think hopefully we should get a good stage 3 considering how bad stage 2 was, and really hoping that it turns out well. Really hoping some really good and exciting, fun teams get to make it to playoffs, so that I can watch all these teams live because that would be super super cool, and for at least for me personally. And yeah, and so then the last thing to update you guys on is I am working on my um, 10 years of Counter-Strike video. I did a lot of work on it over the weekend, or actually over my day off that I had on Monday. Made some adjustments to it yesterday, and at this point there's only I think a couple more things that I might tweak. The majority of the editing is actually done. It's about 15 minutes long at the moment. It might be 20 minutes long when I'm done, depending on if I want to add a segment at the end to just kind of talk and ramble for like 5 minutes to give my thanks and whatnot. But most of the editing is pretty much done at this point, so I will release that video by this weekend or during the weekend at some point. It'll definitely be released before I leave for the major. So if you give a shit to watch that, I guess, I would really appreciate it. And whatever you do, don't pick what I'm picking because it's probably not going to happen because I've been pretty dreadful, as you can see. If I save these and look back at my previous stages, this didn't go very well for me, and this definitely didn't go very well for me. So don't listen to me. Even though I've I've been watching the tier 2 scene, I've been watching a lot of CS this year. Clearly, it doesn't matter. You might as well just throw your hands up in the air and pick what logos you think look the coolest, because honestly, you'll probably have a better chance of getting your pick'ems right than actually thinking about it. So, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this little pick'ems video. It's a little depressing, frankly, considering how I've done. This is probably the worst. I mean, you guys can see on my channel I've done pick'ems for other majors. This is probably my worst performance for pick'ems at a major ever. So, not great. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed it anyway. Hopefully you enjoy the shit show. Hopefully the matches are good and you're enjoying the major. I know I am, even though Falcons lost, which does hurt me. But FaZe made it, and so hopefully we can see some good matches in the stage starting tomorrow, and some fun games, and hopefully some really cool teams make it to playoffs, and this major can kind of live up to what everyone wants it to be, because I think people deserve it, and I think that frankly it would be sad if the playoffs kind of turn out to be a dud. I think Shanghai was great, so I'm hoping that Austin will be a fantastic major. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys for the next pick'ems, which will probably be let's see, stage 3 ends on Sunday, so I will probably post my pick'ems on either Sunday afternoon or Monday, depending on when Valve does the update. And then we will be set. We'll be done with pick'ems, and we'll just have to see how the major plays out for the rest of it. And my 10 years of CS video will be out at that point as well. So again, please watch that if you get the chance. I'd really appreciate it. And I'm gonna stop rambling. So you guys have a good one. Hopefully you're doing better in pick'ems than I am. And I will see you on either Sunday night or Monday, depending on circumstances.